1976 was a year of lavish, theatrical, colorful, avant-garde extravaganzas, and one such spectacle emerged from New Jersey with the band Fireballet, and from their sophomoric Passport release Tutu, the track Great Expectations. Okay, already take apart the layers. We got that kind of tubular guitar, just sustained notes, just searing right through. Amid those really like thick, majestic keyboard sounds. I think I'm hearing like two sounds kind of layered onto one another. Hear that thick bass line, like in choice moments, and those really like just convoluted harmonies. God, trying to take apart those harmonies layer by layer. It's just like some are holding like these angelic sustain notes, while others are kind of like chiming in like with syllables. Changing places with that which came before. It's almost like five John Andersons in the room. In sequential, the cycles meet, and as the curtain rises, the sound at its zenith we hear. As the curtain rises. Songs with great expectations, planning each melody, phrasing and rhyme, anticipation and great expectations, strict composition, process and mind. The master of ceremonies, like. I hear all the layers there. We got that tingly sound, that little kind of like Glockenspiel type sound, and then those strings start perforating. Different to melody. So much sound going on. Hear that like kind of like rattling sound, and then we got we got several vocalists doing like words or so it seems, and then we've got like a couple of others going like da, 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 like just doing like syllables, like giving a slightly different cadence than the last time around. Some deciding to just hold notes throughout. Hear those like sustained synthesizers amid the like searing, that kind of vaguely kind of frippish guitar sound. On ancient canvas, the colors blend between the antique etchings, scattered as leaves on the wind. He says it with such like showbiz flair. It's like this song should have totally been used as like the opening anthem on like some just like award show or something. Kind of some 60s sounds thrown in, but with a real thick 70s lavishness. Hear that vibra slap. I wonder how many takes they had to do with this. I mean, with all the exuberance that's going into it, you could just imagine them breathless after. I like these different chords they're throwing in during this bridge. like pizzicato strings.
Lost in purple skies, on the wind like butterflies.
Ah, that big, grand, like swell up of strings. That entrance once again. It's like we had gotten so far away from it structurally, and they just kind of like, it's like wave of a finger and we're back there. I'm hearing like it's almost like some of the like Brian Wilson, Kurt Bocher elements of the '60s, like Sunshine Pop, thrown into like a wind tunnel with the utmost lavishness of, say, Jeff Wayne, Alan Parsons, Andrew Powell, and not to mention all the symphonic rock heavyweights of the time period. Like all of them just thrown into. Well, in the past, I've described this as basically Genesis, Gentle Giant, Kayak, and Klaatu in a hurricane. That. Oh, those real thick harmonies, just like almost like forming an instrument, invoking kind of 10cc. It was almost sounding like this big lavish, you know, synthesizer riff, just kind of brimming. Oh, the way those strings are just like perforating above their heads, just with all that bright light. Now they're modulating, taking the melody and just throwing it around to different key centers. See the way it went into those lower chords, those sharps and flats, and then they throw it into this other key center, and we hear the chorus line once again, like. Oh, those fading notes of the synthesizer and those like kind of Rigby-esque, like cellos cutting in. That was Great Expectations by Fireballet, on fire on their 1976 second album, 2-2. Yes, growing in leaps and bounds on this release, taking some of the finest influences of the last 10 years, the most sophisticated developments in music, and just throwing them into this big hurricane, yeah. Just all these elements just engulfing you like a wind tunnel. Let's hear another track from the album, Carrollon. And what are we hearing so far? I'm losing track of the layers. We've got the guitar, we've got the kind of like harpsichordy. Let's see. Let's take apart. There are some people. There are three people who are just playing a whole list full of instruments. Both of these songs are written by Jim Cuomo, I guess the leader of the band. He plays drums, vibes, tubular bells, wooden blocks, timpani, sleigh bells, hand cymbals, bell tell, cup gongs, triangles, polymoog, xylophone, marimba, gong, glockenspiel, tambourine, clavinet, lead vocals. Powerhouse of instrumentation, powerhouse of sound. Let's see, Brian Ho plays organ, saxophone, synthesizer, recorder, organ, okay, pipe organ, West Orange Continental Cathedral organ, Polymoog, Remy Roxy chord. Oh, I don't know that one. Vocals. And Frank Petto plays accordion, electric piano, Autoharp synthesizer, backing vocals, Polymoog, Pettotron. And then Spike Biglin simply plays bass. And Reiche Schlanda plays guitar, mandolin, three-string mandolin, and zither. Okay, I think I've been hearing, yeah, some zither, some of that tingly sound. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was hearing, I guess, some of that zither and kind of like this thicker organ sound and some guitar. And now I think I'm hearing some arp. Oh, that really kind of, the odd time signature, really propulsive, jerky. What time signature? I'm having a hard time finding the beginning of the pattern. I try and count it out, but I can't find the beginning of it. It's like dun 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 dun. Now we got kind of a gallop going. Some of those synthesizer sounds kind of remind me just a little bit of Manfred Mann's Earth Band. I'm thinking like Starbird, like off Roaring Silence, or maybe a little bit Styx, like too, or heck, even Starbuck. I was wondering what the title to this song means, and I look it up, and I come up with basically a street. A search on that title brings up a bunch of like apartment complexes.
We move fast through time and tone, rainbows are guides. Oh, lost in motion of sight.
Okay, what am I hearing here? I'm hearing some really thick, churchy organ and some sustained guitar and sustained vocal, kind of that heavenly. Yeah, thick vocal arrangements, once again, heavenly, like choir type. Take that apart. We got like the thick organ riff, kind of like Emerson-like, and then that just gallop with a drum that. There's some thick kind of like low end sounds too. Like the bass is just I can't quite make out the tone it's in, but there's like some darker sounds that are kind of like adding to the thickness of it all. I hear you can barely hear it. It's kind of buried in the mix, but the guitarist is really scaling up quite a bit. I told you that it was a year of like avant-garde, colorful extravaganzas. I should add a Zappa to the names of musical forebears that are kind of like thrown into the sonic wind tunnel. Yeah, I'm thinking of like some of that late '60s like Mothers of Invention, like Uncle Meat period. The vocals there actually kind of remind me of flower punk. I wonder if the New Zealand band Airlord heard this before they recorded their album Clockwork's Revenge. Probably not, but it's just amazing, kind of how these ideas kind of synthesized, like there seems to have maybe been like one band in each corner of the planet that had like this really avant-garde take on the musical developments of the last 10 years. This really quirky, theatrical, kinetic take on it all. Oh God, there's just so many things to pay attention to here. It's like you can either follow that kind of like Fripp-like guitar tone that's kind of like going at one speed, one pace, or just the jerky, propulsive rhythmic component that I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find out what time signature it's in. Oh, and hear those tinkly, that array of keyboards that those guys are just layering on. I'm afraid I wasn't able to get the time signature. I was just too mesmerized by that guitar and Now we've got this like grandiose kind of like build up, kind of like running progression. I would say if this band was influenced by Genesis, it would be kind of like the Battle of Epping Forest, the really like staccato, like convoluted side. And if they're influenced by Gentle Giant, it would be like the really quirky stuff like Knots, like the really percussive, or like Just the Same, or like Cogs and Cogs. Yeah, some of those really quirky, jerky numbers with like lots of xylophone percussion and odd harmony, like jigsaw type harmonies and such. Hear that guitar, and then that tingling of the keyboard. Did you hear that pipey organ? Like interlocking with that tingly keyboard and. Oh, we got so much going on here that's just making this so like spellbinding. We got the rhythm that's just kind of like going at that like nonstop kind of gallop, and we've got the tinkly sound. We've got the guitar that's going. That tinkly sound is kind of like a marquee, like lights, like. We got that like half step. Dun, na, 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 na. Kind of like a fanfare here, kind of a la like Trace, Triumvirate, ELP. That was Carrollon by Fireballet, and before that, Great Expectations 2, just spellbinding, breathtaking, energetic, convoluted, thick, just flying in all directions type numbers from their 1976 second album, 2-2. That's 2, the number, and 2 as in too much. Too many layers, too many colors, too many ideas for one album, one song, maybe. But that's the beautiful thing about the mid-70s. You had bands just delivering the works, just thinking, oh, we could make... How do you make the best album? You combine all of the best influences and you put them into a blender, virtually, and just... Because that's kind of what these songs were. It was like taking all their favorite influences the last 10 years and just putting them into a blender and just laying the blender just kind of like with the top off and just laying all these sounds, ideas just kind of like fly, get spit out over the wall, just splattering here, splattering there. Yeah. And I mentioned plenty of them, and there's probably more, but that's the beautiful thing. Yeah, about that's... It's musical risk taking and beautiful, glorious, expressionistic results like no other. Expressionistic, abstract, yeah. And these people, for other music like, let's see, the same year, Ambrosia put out their second album, Somewhere I've Never Traveled, that has a song on there, The Brunt, that's kind of in a similar vein to what we've heard on here. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Gentle Giant put out their quirkiest album, one of their quirkiest this year, Interview, that has some songs that are kind of in this vein, like Another Show, Give It Back, or that go into like quirky, tinkly, like just jerky, spastic territory, kinetic. Yeah, these musicians, quite talented, and like multi-instrumentalists, we should say. Jim Cuomo, who had been in The Spoils of War before this, would later turn up in Pacific Eardrum. Yeah, this multinational jazz funk soul band, formed by a New Zealander. I don't know where they were based though. The nationality of Pacific Eardrum has always kind of mystified me. He would also, I believe, play on the Intergalactic Tour. Yeah, he played on the Intergalactic Touring Band album. Let's see, Frank Petto. Not much outside of this. That's unfortunate. And Brian Ho. Let's see. Oh, he had been in Frumius Bandersnatch with Ross Valerie later of Journey. Reich Schlanda. 16 credit scoring. Oh, he also played on the Intergalactic Touring Band album. There's a couple of tie-ins with this band to some of those like Glory Days one-offs, like I'm thinking like Private Lines and Magnet. Yeah, Private Lines I've heard. Magnet I don't think I've heard yet. Oh yeah, and Spike Biglin shows up in Private Lines. Put out an album on Passport Records in 1980. And some other hands that threw their 2 cents into the 2-2 album by Fireballet, the Ellington sisters, who were on another track I did recently, although I forgot to mention them in that video. And Mr. Synergy, Larry Fast, was involved in the reissue. He of course would cross paths with Cuomo, and in the Intergalactic Touring Band record, they were, both parties were involved. And Emir Diodato was involved in one of the tracks, not one of the ones I played though. Yeah, Montage and Filigree. Yeah, a lot of, basically, it seems like Passport, in some of its like some of its projects anyway, like this and the Intergalactic Touring Band, which they put out next year, would try and get like all the people they had under contract into the at some point shipping into these big, grand, lavish production albums of theirs. Yeah, and it's all the more beautiful because of it. Yeah, like the Intergalactic Touring Band had a couple of these guys. It had Synergy, it had Annie Haslam, it had Dave Cousins of the Straubs, it had Meatloaf, it had Ben E. King, it had Arthur Brown. Yeah, list go. I think I had Rod Argent on it. The list goes on and on. Yeah, I did a video of one of the songs from that album a couple of months ago, Reaching Out, an Annie Haslam vocal. Yeah, about 3 months ago. Yeah, go look for that. Anyway, yeah, Fireballet, one of the most ambitious, lavish, and just unique, one-of-a-kind, and daring bands to emerge from the United States symphonic scene, heck, from the United States in general during the mid-1970s, New Jersey to be exact. Yes. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the 2 albums by Fireballet, see the directory of albums by American maximalist rock artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the 2 tracks we just heard, the layers, the nuances, the interplay, the convoluted arrangements, the jerky, almost impenetrable rhythmic qualities, and just, did you get lost? Were you able to count out the times? Do you have any comments you'd like to make about the lyrics and their meaning? Yeah, what influences could you pick apart, or just all the layers? If there were layers that you heard in there that I didn't point out, yeah, please, yeah, list them. Which details stood out to you? And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air travel trimaximalist, signing off.